to the Dream100 Show, the epicenter of influence, collaboration, and exponential growth. You're about to discover the power of relationships. Dream100 Relationships. And you're one relationship away from a totally different business and life. This is your host, Michael Tasner.
Hey there, and welcome to this week's edition of the Dream100 Show. I've been doing some content around making adjustments, making tweaks, making pivots when your back is against the wall. Now, in this instance, I'm referring to your back being against the wall because you're running out of capital, you're on the fence of potentially even closing, like you're not in a good spot. And you get to the place where you either have to shudder and say, hey, I tried, this isn't working. You need to dig in harder. You need to make some 360 turns. Like, there's a lot of different avenues to it. But I'm never a fan of things that I can't fully control. And when my back is up against the wall, I need to start this concept of facts, not feelings, and look at what are the facts of the current situation and what are the things that I can start to control to move the needle rapidly. Anytime my back has been against the wall, if I let myself stay there for more than a couple of days, it turns into something that I wouldn't say is catastrophic, but it gets to a place where I can't think correctly. I start making non-logical decisions. I really get into that rut. I get into a place of borderline depression, high anxiety, and it's just not a good place. So what I have found is that I like to move something quickly. So what I wanted to teach you today are a couple of strategies that you can deploy if either A, your back is against the wall and you have to find some ways out financially, or B, you simply want to generate some cash flow. And there's never a bad time to generate some additional cash flow. So let's talk this through. Where would I start? What would be objective number one, strategy number one? Strategy number one is always for me to go and look everywhere that I have for unclosed business, lost customers, people that left, people that filled out forms we never reached out to, dead leads, old leads, and it doesn't matter what business you're in. It's completely irrelevant. You always have people, maybe some people that came into your store, filled something out, they walked out, they never purchased. People that have joined your email list. Like, look for all of those kind of hidden marketing assets that you know deep down you're just not doing enough. You're not pushing those people enough. You're not communicating enough. I could argue that I don't communicate enough. We finally got to a place where we're now sending something every single week to our entire database. I believe I need to get that to the place where it's once a day, even twice a day. But I want you to find all of those customers. And I want you to start again with the ones that lost, never closed, didn't hear from, dead leads, bad leads. They're going to be in your email inbox. They're going to be in your customer relationship platform. They could be business cards that you have sitting in a box and you went from a home show and you literally never did anything with them. Maybe your team called them once. If you have salespeople, you're going to do this exact same exercise with your sales team. Give me everything that you've got. And I want to get it into one simplified Excel sheet. Everything on there. And I want you and your team to start to look at the lowest hanging fruit. Where can we go to start to shake the tree a little bit to see, can we generate some revenue? Can we push something out and get something back? So step one is to go through again and gather all of these names. Ideally, you've got at the very least name, email. My preference is that you've got name, email, phone, and an address. Because the objective is that we're going to not just hit them up one time with an email, we're going to hit them up multiple times in multiple places. Step two is you need to come up with an offer that they are not going to be able to say no to. Now, I don't want it to be an offer where there's zero money right now. It could be zero money for the first 30 days and then they pay next month, for example. But I want an offer that you have never done before, something that is like, holy crap, that offer is just so darn good. Maybe instead of them having to pay for this in one lump sum, they can pay for it over 12 months and you've only ever done 2 payments over 60 days, for example. You want to look at all of your different options. Now, typically speaking, the offer is going to have something to the tune of a discount, extended payment terms, once in a lifetime pricing. Think like Black Friday type pricing and then take it another step further. Think like Black Friday and Cyber, like think all those holidays and combine them into one so that you have just this insane offer. Alex Hormozi has an amazing book where he talks all about offers, but you should be able to brainstorm something really amazing. Now, from there, we're going to start to make that offer. You're going to make that offer through email, through text messages. You and or your sales team are going to be making phone calls to these people. You're going to be ideally putting something in the mail, and you're not just going to do these things once. That's another massive mistake that business owners end up making. One email, didn't hear anything, didn't get any results, this clearly didn't work. They send one text message. No, didn't hear back, that stinks. Look at your buying habits. Look at how you like to be sold to. Personally, I like to do all my business through email and text, and if I don't respond, it's partially me ghosting you, but to me, it means I've decided to make that not a priority right now. So I might have filled out a form looking for a new vehicle, and then I decide a couple days later, and I'm not into it right now. And they might follow up multiple times, but if I ghost you, yeah, one message isn't necessarily ghosting you. Sending 8 messages over 2 weeks, that's definitely ghosting. You need to be aggressive on pushing this out. The reason I also want you to send something physical in the mail is that you need to be going above and beyond what other people are doing. So if you know that people are sending, let's just say they're only sending direct mail, then I want you sending emails, text messages, voice broadcasts, making phone calls, social media messages. Look at all the different things that you can do to get that offer in front of as many people as possible. That's my first step. I always go to low-hanging fruit of past people that didn't close, dead leads, old leads, and see what I can shake on that tree. Step 2, I want you to look at what customers or clients you have that you can either upsell them something, or B, you could also make an offer that is very, very hard to say no to that would involve them potentially prepaying for some of their products or services. So maybe, for example, they're always used to buying a bunch of stuff from you in January. Say, hey, how about I give you a 20% discount if you place your January order and you place it right now? And I'm going to give you the discount. You're going to get all that expense in for this tax year, and we both win. It helps us out a little bit, you get helped out, and it all moves in the right direction. So I like to look at, are there any customers, again, that I could upsell, cross-sell? Not looking to downsell, but ideally you have some other add-ons or things that you can plug into your existing offers, products, services, little add-ons. Who can you go to that you have not went to? The third thing that I like doing, if you have not done a price increase in quite some time, is I like to do a price increase. Now, you can't just do a blanket increase and say, well, your prices are going up tomorrow, but you ideally want to give 30 to 60 days notice. In the service industry, especially if you have a reoccurring service, that could be large money, and it's money that goes right to your bottom line. So it starts to improve your overall margins almost instantly. So if you're bringing in $100,000 a month and you do a 3% increase, it's $30,000+ every single year. Now that $3,000 might not be back up against the wall life-changing money that's going to solve your situation, but all of this stuff is meant to start to compound. The next thing I like to do is to look at, can I offer any kind of like gift cards, or again, any kind of offer that is going to get people to prepay for things that they normally would not be paying for right now. Maybe they're going to be paying in a month or 2 or 3 or even 6 months. But if you look at certain industries like restaurants, for example, you know that Black Friday and Christmas, for example, they often will go to the buy $100, get $25 free. What if you did that for your business? So I'm like, I don't have a restaurant. Doesn't matter. Let's say you have a photography business and your average package is $300. Well, buy one of our $300 packages and we're going to give you another package completely free of charge that you can give away to somebody. But what you're doing is you're aiming to get some of those people to also potentially prepay. Like, I know a lot of people that load up on gift cards in the month of December that then spend them throughout the year because they know that the discounts, the savings, the offers are going to be that good in that month. That if you're going to get 25% back at a restaurant, you're going to go and you might spend a couple $1,000s in the month of December and hold on to those and spend them throughout the year. But you can apply that exact same concept to pretty much any other niche. And the final thing that I do, let's do a quick recap and then I'll share the final one. So the next thing that I do correlates back to the Dream 100. And the reason that I didn't start with this strategy is, as you know, this Dream 100 framework, this Dream 100 strategy, it's not something that is going to work for you overnight. However, if you've been deploying the Dream 100 framework, the Dream 100 strategy for at least, let's call it 60 days, you should have some potential people that maybe they came onto your podcast, maybe they at least responded to something. And if you can start to craft the right message where you do not come across as desperate, but the right message to these particular people, you might be able to shake one of those Dream 100 referral partners from your list to end up doing something a little bit earlier for you. But you have to be very careful in the languaging. It can't be, "Dear Mr. or Mrs. Partner, I know that we have exchanged a couple of messages. We didn't get to the final table. I'm not in a great cash position. Can we do something? I'm willing to give you a big referral fee." Like, that's not the message that you want to use. But you might want to start to have more aggressive languaging to try and, hey, how does your schedule look this week, to see if we could move the needle on something quicker in time to generate some revenue for both of us before the new year. So like, you start to put a couple of nuances to show that, yeah, you're trying to add a little bit of a sense of urgency. So I like to go through that list and see, are there a couple of people that I could take a shot with now that I know I maybe haven't executed the whole strategy, but if my back is against the wall and I need to generate some revenue now, that would be another strategy. Now, the final strategy goes against all the ones that I just taught you, not necessarily against, but it's the opposite. All these are about generating revenue. The other one that I'll look at is, are there any vendors that you can look at getting better terms with? Can I potentially leverage a line of credit? Can I not necessarily max out a credit card? Do I have any 0% interest cards? So I start to move some money around so I can at least start to free up my mindset. So I'm not like, crap, like if I don't make 50 grand in the next 2 months, I can't make payroll and we're in trouble. What if that number wasn't necessarily 50? Maybe the number had to be 20 because we could kind of push some of these payments out a little bit. And it's not you stop paying your vendors. That's not what I'm suggesting. But there are lots of ways to get access to capital at a lower cost. Now, don't go and start doing crazy payday loans and 40% interest or mortgaging your house or anything like that. That's not what I'm suggesting. Personally, I'm a lot more of a risk-averse person. I've definitely taken a lot of risk, and I've had sometimes it has paid off, and other times I can tell you I was doing the math the other day, and I put myself into like this bad state for a couple of hours because I realized I've lost and wasted, well over $500,000, and I think the number was exponentially larger, and that's in bad deals, like not even lost deals, but more so just things that didn't go like they were supposed to. So don't get yourself into that insane spot because then you continue to spiral. But focus initially on all the things that I just went through. Where's your low-hanging fruit of leads that didn't close, dead leads, old leads, people that left? Put that amazing offer together and start to present the offer in multiple ways. Go to your existing customers and clients. Can you upsell, cross-sell, add on? Look at doing a price increase to also generate some additional capital. And then continue to go through your Dream 100 list and see, are there some of those relationships that you can move a little bit faster? And then in tandem, you can look at how can you delay some of these payments by working with your vendors, access some 0% interest capital, for example, or a low-cost line of credit so that you can give yourself some breathing room while you're generating this new revenue, paying some of these things down and getting yourself into a better spot. But the reality of the situation is that while these things very well can work, You have to make sure that you're having honest conversations with yourself. A lot of businesses get to the place where I get on a phone call with them or a Zoom and they don't have what I would deem a viable business at this stage. Michael, I've lost whatever, $250,000. We're making $3,000 a month of income. What do I do? And my answer would be marketing. Like, we got to dig you out of the hole from a marketing perspective, but more often than not, I can't suggest that. How can I come to you and say, you need to be investing $50,000 a month in marketing when your sales are $3,000 and you're $250,000 in debt? It's, for me, if I put myself in your shoes, it's not a great place to be in. Now, marketing solves everything, in my opinion, and based on my 20 plus years of doing this. Actually, 24 to be exact. Marketing can cure all of your problems. But if your back is against the wall, it's tough to then start to double, triple, quadruple down on marketing if you're like, I can't even make payroll. Generate some cash, put some offers out there, get some deals moving so your mind can get in a clearer state, and then you can reset on your marketing. And you do that in tandem with also making sure that if anyone owes you money, I always love to collect on any outstanding debt. I might ask or offer to settle if it's been a while and say, hey, give me 50%. So I like to try and collect on any old debt. And then in tandem with just rearranging your financial situation, this can put you light years ahead and just in a better spot so your back can move from against the wall to back into the room. You can start to think more clearly and have that next 30, 60, 90 plus day strategy to, okay, great. What do we need to do from a marketing perspective to get our lead flow coming in, our deal flow back in action? What needs to happen week 1, 2, 3, and beyond? And you start working that plan. Fix the cash flow situation in the interim. If your back, again, is way against the wall, get yourself off the wall and then moving in the right direction. If you enjoyed today's content, leave a comment, question, like, share this show. I'm so grateful to have you listening each and every week. Michael Tasner signing off. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night. I'll see you next week.